Hi, I'm Elaine Mihalakis, Vice President of Curatorial Affairs. Welcome to the Allentown Art Museum. Rembrandt's Portrait of a Young Woman is among the group of Renaissance and Baroque paintings donated by the Samuel H. Kress Foundation in 1961 that form the original core of the Allentown Art Museum's collection.
Samuel Kress's idea when he donated these paintings to small museums across the United States was that art was uplifting to the soul and that it was an important part of people's education and the formation of their character.
Rembrandt painted Portrait of a Young Woman in 1632 in Amsterdam, then a worldwide center for trade. Since that time, the painting's journey has traced the history of global power and its transfer. Part of a significant royal collection for much of the 18th century, it was uprooted by the French Revolution. When placed for sale in England in the 19th century, it symbolized a kind of legitimacy to the English aristocracy. Finally, when the United States increased its status as a world power in the early 20th century, Rembrandt's painting was purchased by American collector and benefactor Samuel Kress, who ultimately determined that great works of art should reside in institutions like this one, where they can be enjoyed by all. The conservation of Rembrandt's Portrait of a Young Woman was a revelation.
The job of a conservator is kind of to unpack its history and to determine what happened to the object during its life and to identify the unoriginal material. And what we found is that the old X-ray showed a painting that did not have that much contrast, that was quite dull, and it didn't reveal any brushwork, whereas with better technology, we were able to obtain an X-ray that showed actually quite the opposite.
When I first approached the Portrait of a Young Woman, I was struck by the overall high quality. It's beautifully and skillfully painted, with the opportunity to see the comparative technical imaging that was done so carefully, and also to see the painting as the cleaning unfolded. The quality just continued to be ever present.
The most revealing part of the process was removing the varnish and to be able to properly see the original paint. The varnish is actually thicker than the paint itself. It was the equivalent of trying to look through a picture through frosted glass, and it was almost impossible to fully appreciate the crispness of the brushwork, the subtle transition, the vivid brushwork, the beautiful flushes of pink, and a liveliness to that brushwork that is quite consistent with other works by Rembrandt.
What is it about this artist that makes us esteem him so much? He has an amazing insight into humans' personality, the way he's able to create that sense of life which we can still relate to today.
People really relate to him and his work because his painting somehow is a window to the human soul. It's something that when you look into the gaze of Rembrandt, something that I think everyone can relate to.
Rembrandt is one of the greatest painters of all time, quite aside from his extraordinary technical mastery of the materials of oil paint, his extraordinary brushwork. There's a spiritual component in Rembrandt's paintings. His obviously extraordinary sensitivity and intelligence, which allowed him to understand human suffering and to depict it in a way that moves people. This is what makes him one of the great painters.
The conservation has allowed us to see the painting as the artist originally intended. It has revealed a glow that had been obscured over the years of its existence. It's given us a new chance to connect with the young woman who is its subject. And, significantly, it has provided many reasons to reconsider an attribution to Rembrandt, the master.